Hello, everyone. Hope you're well out there. Hope you had a fantastic Easter. And most importantly, of course, staying safe. Look, this is the second Charlton Athletic Community Trust online quiz. It is being streamed live, so please bear with us if there are any technical issues. Why are we doing this? Now, firstly, we want to provide an opportunity for people to get together virtually or in their households for some fun and distraction from what's going on in the world at the moment. Secondly, we're raising funds for CAC's work supporting vulnerable people during the current crisis. Charlton Athletic Community Trust, that is, of course. CACT is working with the Royal Borough of Greenwich to run the community hub there. Staff are taking hundreds of calls a day on the call centre, organising shopping and deliveries of food parcels, collecting prescriptions and referring people to other local services. CACT is also, or has also, set up a friendship line offering regular calls to those who are self-isolating. Its Extra Time weekly group for older people is now running its choir and holding weekly tea groups online to reduce loneliness. Other CACT programs have also been adapted to continue providing support. Mentoring is now online and over the phone. The team in Thanet is helping with food deliveries. And CACT football coaches are running daily football skill challenges with support from the first team, to name just a few. Look, this quiz is free to take part in, but anything you can donate will help support CACT's work in the community now and in the future. For example, CACT is buying food for those who simply can't afford it, where food banks are unable to help, and helping cover any extra costs it has at the moment. You can donate online at cact.org.uk/donate. That's cact.org.uk/donate. Okay, well, how will the quiz work? We have 5 rounds with 10 questions each. At the end of each round, I'll give you a short amount of time to go through the questions and the answers, of course, and then read out the answers for you to mark. Please send us any comments or requests for shout out to read between the rounds in the comments box. This went down really well last week. So remember, even as you're answering the questions, just put any comments in the comments box and we will read out your name and any message you put in there. Please submit your team name and score on the comments or to fundraising@cact.org.uk. That's fundraising@cact.org.uk. And we will publish a leaderboard soon after the end. Okay, the rounds: general knowledge, film and TV, history, geography, and of course sport as well. Now, we can't enforce a no mobile phone policy or no search Google, but look, this is for fun, so try if you can to not cheat. If you really have to, just do it once per round, no more than that. Okay, shall we start? General knowledge round. First question: what is the German word for Germany? What is the German word for Germany? Okay, question 2. Igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are all types of what? So igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are all types of what? Question 3. What is the capital city of Bangladesh? The capital city of Bangladesh. Question 4. You might know this one. What rodent represents the year of the Chinese zodiac we are currently in? So what rodent represents the year of the Chinese zodiac we are currently in? Question 5. Where are the Elgin marbles originally from? So where are the Elgin marbles originally from? I wouldn't have a clue. Question 6. This isn't quite as easy as you might think as well. In which Swiss town is the World Economic Forum held? In which Swiss town is the World Economic Forum held? Didn't know that one. If I'd have thought heavy about this one, I would have known. Which muscle is the most flexible in the human body? It's a fantastic question and a great answer. Which muscle is the most flexible in the human body? Question 8. Which state was admitted as the 49th US state in January 1959? So which state was admitted as the 49th US state in January 1959? Tough one, this. One of these where if you know the answer, you'd be kicking yourself. But what was Eric Arthur Blair's pen name? Eric Arthur Blair's pen name. And my little girl would know this one, but I don't. She studied planets not that long ago. What's the name of the largest moon of Jupiter? Final question in the general knowledge round. What is the name of the largest moon of Jupiter? Now, they are the 10 questions. For those of you who joined a little bit late, I know the same thing happened last week. I'll go through the questions again. I won't be doing this for every round, but hopefully by the time we've got to the end of the general knowledge round, everybody will be on board. So question 1, what is the German name for Germany? Question 2, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are all types of what? Question 3, the capital city of Bangladesh. Question 4, what rodent represents the year of the Chinese zodiac we are currently in? Question 5, where are the Elgin marbles originally from? Did not know that. Did not know this one either. In which Swiss town is the World Economic Forum held? Question 7 was which muscle is the most flexible in the human body? Question 8 was which state was admitted as the 49th US state in January 1959? Have a guess. You may well get it. Question 9, what was Eric Arthur Blair's pen name? Eric Arthur Blair's pen name. And question 10, what's the name of the largest moon of Jupiter? Now, I'm not getting any comments through, so I'm hoping that I'm not doing this by myself. Please send any comments you might. Tell us who's watching, who you're sitting with, how you're getting on, what you found of that general knowledge round, anything at all. Try and keep it clean, mind. And I will go through the answers now. Okay, so general knowledge answers. Question 1, what was the German word for Germany? Deutschland. I've just been compared to Magnus Magnusson. I don't think it's either in looks or brains, to be honest with you. Definitely not brains, but I'm getting a few greys. Question 2, igneous, sedimentary, and metamorphic are all types of what? Rock. What is the capital city of Bangladesh? Dhaka. Question 4, what rodent represents the year of the Chinese zodiac we are currently in? It is the rat. Question 5, where are the Elgin marbles originally from? Athens, Greece. Question 6, in which Swiss town is the World Economic Forum held? Davos. Question 7, which muscle is the most flexible in the human body? The tongue. And I know about that. I think my missus' tongue is right up there as well as the most flexible at the moment than me staying at home all the time. Question 8, she's not behind me, is she? No. Question 8, which state was admitted as the 49th US state in January 1959? It was Alaska. Question 9, what was Eric Arthur Blair's pen name? George Orwell. And question 10, what's the name of the largest moon of Jupiter? Ganymede. Okay, so how did he get on? Top those up. Okay, Lisa says she's loving the weekly quizzes. Love that, Lisa. Thank you very much indeed. Shout out to Jason and the Morgan family having some technical problems, but have joined now. Now, he actually sent me a text earlier or a video of his pretty much a wine cellar, and I think he's probably on about bottle 3 right now. Jill is loving the quiz. Thank you very much indeed, Jill. And Steve says hi. He's doing it on his own. Don't care whether you're with people or on your own, Steve. I'm loving that. How did you get on in that first 10? Okay, we'll move on to film and TV rounds. Who is the only surviving actor of the Wilmington-on-Sea Home Guard from the sitcom Dad's Army? So who is the only surviving actor of the Wilmington-on-Sea Home Guard from the sitcom Dad's Army? My friends Steve and Lisa doing it as well. 3 out of 10 useless, they've called themselves. Steve, it's early days yet, mate. Question 2. What colour are the shorts that Bart Simpson normally wears? The colour of the shorts that Bart Simpson normally wears. Take a guess. It's a popular one. Question 3. What was the first programme broadcast on the opening night of Channel 4? A little clue here. It is still running today. So the first programme broadcast on the opening night of Channel 4, and it's still running today. Question 4. The famous... Jason's on his first glass already. Question 4. The famous Hovis advert of a boy walking his bike up a hill. Do you remember that back in the day? Was an early work of which famous director? So the famous Hovis advert of a boy walking his bike up a hill was an early work of which famous director? Question 5. Who played Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? I watched it. Good set of films, actually. Who played Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games film series? Wouldn't mess with it, I know that. Question 6. What is the name of the character played by Helena Bonham Carter in the Harry Potter films? So the name of the character played by Helena Bonham Carter in the Harry Potter films. In our household, she's more famous for the Gruffalo. Not sure whether she'd be happy with that or not. Okay, who is it the narrator on Love Island? Come on, we know you watch it. Who is the narrator on Love Island? Now, I didn't know the answer to that one, but I did know the answer to this one. It tells a lot about me. What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? Question 9. Studio Gilby. Or should I say Gilbly, if I can say it properly. It's an animation studio from which country? So Studio Gilbly is an animation studio from which country? Translated very well. Question 10. What was the name of the first short film starring Wallace and Gromit? The name of the first short film starring Wallace and Gromit. Okay, we've done 10 questions there on film and TV. I shall give you 30 seconds to a minute to go through the answers to check whether you're happy with them or not. Who else do we need to say hello to? I've only got one through now. Dean Kilpatrick says, can you say hi to the Morag and family? He hopes to see them again soon, and I'm sure you will, Dean, as well. Come on, send your comments through. Anybody who's watching, anything you'd like to say, whether it be about the quiz, about your team, whether you're doing it on your own. Got another one here. David Jarvis, enjoying the quiz. Like that, David. Thank you very much indeed. How are you getting on? 2 down, 3 to go. But let's go through the answers, shall we, of film and TV. So who is the only surviving actor of the Warmington-on-Sea home guard from the sitcom Dad's Army? The answer is Ian Lavender, otherwise known as Private Pike. What colour are the shorts that Bart Simpson normally wears? Blue. What was the first programme broadcast on the opening night of the Channel 4? It's still running today. Stevie, you text me this. You were useless in the first round, but you certainly got this question right. Countdown. The famous Hovis advert of a boy walking his bike up a hill was an early work of which famous director? Ridley Scott. Who would have thought that? Me not. Who played Katniss Everdeen in the Hunger Games series? The answer, Jennifer Lawrence. Question 6. What is the name of the character played by Helena Bonham Carter in the Harry Potter films? Bellatrix Lestrange. Are you a Harry Potter nut? If you are, then you would have got that. Are you a Love Island nut? You'll definitely get that. Who is the narrator on Love Island? Ian Sterling. I knew this one. What is the name of Postman Pat's pet cat? Jess. And Studio Ghibli, still struggling to say that, it's an animation studio from which country? The answer is Japan. And there's one more. What was the name of the first short film starring Wallace and Gromit? A Grand Day Out. Okay. Well, Stevie was telling me he got 5 out of 5 so far, but what did he get out of 10? Steve and Lisa. Okay. History round. Where did Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his I Have a Dream speech? What a speech. But where did Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his speech? I Have a Dream. Question 2. France takes its name from which Germanic tribe that settled there after the collapse of the Western Roman Empire? So France takes its name from which Germanic tribe that settled there after the collapse of the Western Roman Empire? Question 3. In the latter days of World War II, the Japanese resorted to kamikaze attacks against Allied ships. But what does the word kamikaze translate to? Really good question. In the latter days of World War II, the Japanese reported or resorted to kamikaze attacks against Allied ships. But what does the word kamikaze translate to? I think I need a glass of wine. Question 4. What was the last battle between France and Great Britain? The last battle between France and Great Britain. Question 5. And I've got to look forward here. Who wrote the ecclesiastical history of the English people? Don't make me say it again. You're going to make me say it again, aren't you? I'm going to say it again. Who wrote the ecclesiastical history of the English people? As you can imagine, I've no idea on that one. This is a really good question. Between 1804 and 1806, the Lewis and Clark expedition set out to map the western portion of which modern-day country? Great question. Between 1804 and 1806, the Lewis and Clark expedition set out to map the western portion of which modern-day country? Question 7. What historical event on Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, did Franklin Roosevelt describe as a date which will live in infamy? Now, what historical event on Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, did Franklin Roosevelt describe as a date which will live with infamy or in infamy? What is the name of the theatre associated with Shakespeare? That's question 8. What is the name of the theatre associated with Shakespeare? Question 9. What building was constructed in Hyde Park to hold the Great Exhibition of 1851? What building was constructed in Hyde Park to hold the Great Exhibition of 1851? And question 10, who was voted the greatest Briton of all time in 2002? So in 2002, who was voted the greatest Briton of all time? And rightly so. Okay, I'll give you a bit of time. What have we got here? Can't share wife's answer to my first class going down. Bob Boulder was going to join. So guessing he may be on. Is Bob on? Bob, little message in the comment section. I've just got a text off my friend. Are you on the wine? I feel like I should be. Who else have we got here? We talked about David Jarvis enjoying the quiz. Rob Marone says no excuses this week. Keith and Jill Ford. Keith, Jill, no excuses. None whatsoever. And Philip Russell says, please, can you say hello to Stoddart and Zach? Stoddart and Zach, how are we doing? You okay? Enjoying the quiz? How are we getting on? Let's go through the history answers, shall we? Okay, where did Martin Luther King Jr. deliver his I Have a Dream speech? Washington, D.C., on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial in 1963. So if you get the steps of the Lincoln Memorial or 1963 on top of Washington, D.C., I think we can give you half a mark on top. Question 2, France takes its name from which Germanic tribe that settled there after the collapse of the Western Roman Empire? Franks. I did not know that. Franks. Question 3. In the latter days of World War II, the Japanese resorted to kamikaze attacks against Allied ships. But what does the word kamikaze translate to? So we've got here divine wind, but we'll also accept spirit wind or God wind. So wind, most definitely the theme. Kamikaze translates to divine wind, spirit wind, or God wind. Question 4. What was the last battle between France and Great Britain? The Battle of Waterloo. Sorry, Jace, I've accidentally tried to call you there. Not ideal. Question 5. Who wrote the ecclesiastical history of the English people? It was the Venerable Bede. I've probably not said that right either, have I? Question 6, moving swiftly on. Between 1806 and between 1804 and 1806, the Lewis and Clark expedition set out to map the western portion of which modern-day country? The United States of America. Like that. Been told to put my teeth in. I need your wine, Jace. That's what I need. Question 7. What historical event on Sunday, December the 7th, 1941, did Franklin Roosevelt describe as a date which will live in infamy? It was, of course, the attack on Pearl Harbor. Question 8. What is the name of the theatre associated with Shakespeare? The Globe. Question 9. What building was constructed in Hyde Park to hold the Great Exhibition of 1851? Crystal Palace. And question 10. Who was voted the greatest Briton of all time in 2002? The answer was Winston Churchill. Keith Peacock must have been in the top 3, I'm sure. Winston Churchill, and rightly so. Okay, let's move on to geography. How good is your geography? Question 1. What is the only country in the world with a flag that is not four-sided? So the only country in the world with a flag that is not four-sided? Question 2. The Öresund Bridge links which two countries? So the Öresund Bridge, spelt O-R-E-S-U-N-D, the Öresund Bridge links which two countries? Question 3. What northern Welsh seaside resort was recently invaded by a herd of wild goats? What northern Welsh seaside resort was recently invaded by a herd of wild goats? Take a guess. You just might get it right. Question 4. If you sailed by ferry from New Haven, at which French port would you usually dock? So if you sailed by ferry from New Haven, at which French port would you usually dock? Question 5. Name the national emblem of Canada. The national emblem of Canada. Now, my missus is Colombian, but all the rest of the family, all the in-laws live in Canada, so I know this one. Montego Bay, question 6, is a tourist destination on which Caribbean island? Montego Bay is a tourist destination on which Caribbean island? Take a guess if you're not sure. Question 7. In which European country is the Romansh language spoken? In which European country is the Romansh language spoken? Got my teeth back in, Jace. A tough one, that. Question 8. Which English county is dominated by Salisbury Plain and the Marlborough Downs and contains the ancient monument of Stonehenge? So which English county is dominated by Salisbury Plain and the Marlborough Downs and contains the ancient monument of Stonehenge? Question 9. What Central European country do beer brands Staropramen, Pilsner Urquell, and Budweiser Budvar come from? I'm sure I didn't say that second one properly. What Central European country do beer brands Staropramen, Pilsner Urquell, and Budweiser Budvar come from? Take a guess. And last one, question 10. Which London Underground line runs from Heathrow to Cockfosters? So which London Underground line runs from Heathrow to Cockfosters? I'll give you a little bit of time just to go through your answers. Who am I speaking to now or saying hello to? Oh, good question here. I haven't got a name, but what was your favourite game in a Charlton shirt? I'll come to the obvious one, and it ranks in one of my top 5 games of my career. But the first one I have to say was my debut. Now, my actual debut was what was called, I think it was the Seamod Cup back then. I'm sure it was against Sunderland, 17-year-old kid. Played the game, really enjoyed it, but felt like a kid. First league game, so my league debut, full league debut, was at the Old Den. Lenny didn't tell me until about 2 hours before. 17-year-old kid, played left midfield. I went in late on Terry Hurlock after 2 minutes. So I'm skinny as anything. I go late in on Terry Hurlock. I think I might have even got a booking. Do you know what? He didn't get me back, but Keith Stevens, Rhino, did. And about For about 18 months, I had his stud marks on my hip. I was quite proud of actually showing them my mates, look what happened when I played at the Den. But the biggest one, of course, is the Back to the Valley game. That was, without a doubt, a special moment. Still is a special moment looking back. And, you know, even though, what were there, 6,900 something that were there, it felt like 60,000. It was amazing, amazing atmosphere, and amazing what it meant for the club as well. Okay, so let's go through the answers here, shall we? Geography. Stop waffling. What was the only country in the world with a flag that is not four-sided? Nepal. The Øresund Bridge links which two countries? Sweden and Denmark. What northern Welsh seaside resort was recently invaded by a herd of wild goats? Llandudno. If you sail by ferry from New Haven, at which French port would you usually dock? Dieppe. Name the national emblem of Canada. It is, of course, a maple leaf. Montego Bay is a tourist destination on which Caribbean island? Jamaica. In which European country is the Romansh language spoken? Switzerland. Did not know that. Which English county is dominated by Salisbury Plain and the Marlborough Downs and contains the ancient monument of Stonehenge? It is Wiltshire. Question 9. What Central European country did beer brands Staropramen, Pilsner Urquell, and Budweiser Budvar come from? It is the Czech Republic. I said one of those right, I'm happy. Question 10. Which London Underground line runs from Heathrow to Cockfosters? You'll know this if you use it regularly, the Piccadilly line. Okay, 4 down, 1 to come, the sports round. But before we start the final round, look, as a quick reminder that while we hope you've enjoyed the quiz tonight and it's brought you a little light relief, we're also doing it to raise funds for the Charlton Athletic Community Trust. If you have enjoyed the quiz, please consider making a donation. Normally, CAT quiz nights are around £10 a ticket, so perhaps £10 a screen or team, or just whatever you can donate. All donations will help fund CAC's response to the coronavirus crisis, supporting young people through this difficult time, and providing emergency support in the community for the vulnerable and elderly who are self-isolating. Donate online at cact.org.uk/donate. That is cact.org.uk/donate. Okay, let's move on to the sports round. Final round. Stevie, how did he get? 5 out of 10. Okay, not bad, mate. Sports round. Which famous former footballer's name is an anagram of leaky ringer? So which famous former footballer's name is an anagram of leaky ringer? Leaky, Leaky, ringer, Ringer. And I'll give you a clue. He's on TV as much now as he ever was as a player. I'll give you a little bit of time for that one. Okay, question 2. What national rugby league team has the nickname the Rhinos? So what national rugby league team has the nickname the Rhinos? Question 3. What colour karate belt is a beginner required to wear in the majority of schools? So what colour karate belt is a beginner required to wear in the majority of schools? Question 4. Which country came top of the medal table in 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro? And do you know who came second? Bonus half a point for that. Which country came top of the medal table in the 2016 Summer Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro? It's a shame you won't be having the Olympic Games this year, hopefully next year. Question 5. The World Snooker Championship takes place annually at which Sheffield venue? Easy one if you're a snooker fan, not if you're not. The World Snooker Championship takes place annually at which Sheffield venue? Question 6. Who captained the victorious European golf team in the 2018 Ryder Cup? So who was captain of the European golf team that won the Ryder Cup in 2018? Question 7. An epi, spelt E-P-E-E. Now there's a couple of little squiggles at the top, but I won't go through all those. An epi, so it's clearly a French word, is a piece of equipment in which sport? Should we say accents instead of squiggles? An epi, E-P-E-E, is a piece of equipment in which sport? Question 8. Which Manchester City player is the current captain of the England women's national football team? Which Manchester City player is the current captain of the England women's national football team? 2 more, and then we're done. Question 9. Who won the American football Super Bowl in February 2020? So who won this year's Super Bowl? And question 10, final question of this week's online quiz. In which sport would you start at the South Stake? So in which sport would you start at the South Stake? Okay. Let's go through our final hellos. Kevin Smith says you are doing a great job. Kevin, I knew I liked you the moment I said your name. James says shout out to Ruth Miller for her birthday today. Ruth, a very happy birthday. Do as much as you can within the confines of your house today. I'm sure everyone will celebrate the moment we get out as well. That's a happy 29th birthday to Ruth. And hello to all the Millers. So listen, even when you're 30, don't feel bad about it. 30 is the new 20. Simple as that. I'm 50 next year. That's the new 40. And look, final one here, I think. Melissa says, thank you for giving up your time to host the quiz. Melissa, it is an absolute pleasure to do something for one, cats, but two, such a fantastic cause as well. So it's an honor. Thank you. Let's go through the answers, shall we, in sports. Which famous former footballer's name is an anagram of Leaky Ringer? Gary Lineker. What national rugby league team has the nickname the Rhinos? South Africa. What colour karate belt is a beginner required to wear in the majority of schools? It is, of course, white. Which country came top of the medal table in the 2016 Summer Olympic Games in Rio? It was the United States, no surprise there. Who came second? Great Britain. Question 5. The World Snooker Championship takes place annually at which Sheffield venue? It is the Crucible. Question 6. Who captained the victorious European golf team in the 2018 Ryder Cup? It was Thomas Bjorn. An épée, with accents all over the place, is a piece of equipment in which sport? Fencing. Which Manchester City player is the current captain of the England women's national football team? It is Steph Houghton. Question 9. Who won the American football Super Bowl in February 2020? It was the Kansas City Chiefs. Amazing game. And question 10. In which sport would you start at the South Stake? Croquet. We're finishing on croquet. Well, look, tot up all your answers. Put them in the comment section. Yeah, or email fundraising@cact.org.uk. Fundraising@cact.org.uk. ct.org.uk by 8 p.m. tonight, and we'll announce the winners online later. Thank you so much for everybody who has taken part this evening. But we're planning to make this a weekly activity for the time being. We hope you can join us again next week. Please tell people about it. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And even if you didn't get 10 out of 10, which I'd be surprised if anyone did on all of them, you had a bit of fun. I'm sure you did. We hope you can join us again next week, which will be a special quiz in aid of the Charlton Upbeats Down Syndrome team. So it's a special one next week. So please tell as many people as possible. And also, just to let you know, if you want to stay on a Charlton related thing, Kevin Lisby is interviewing Matt Holland on his Instagram account right now at Kevin_Lisby for that one, at Kevin_Lisby. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and remember to salute all our heroes at 8 o'clock who are there on the front line and helping absolutely everybody trying to beat this coronavirus. Hope to see you next week. Thank you again. Bye for now.